When we're talking about outcomes, first we got to this is kind of what we do in marketing, right? When we're looking at outcomes, well, what are the 10 steps behind that? And it's kind of what Saffron just talked about, which is helping our customers overcome their top challenges right now. We're going to dive into industry by industry by industry challenges here right after we get done talking with you. But on a macroeconomic scale and across industries, what are some of the common challenges that we're seeing and solving for?
Yeah, well, I think across industries, labor shortages are top of mind. Our hospitality customers, in fact, many of them right here on the Las Vegas Strip, are struggling with labor shortages. Our healthcare systems are way short on the number of nurses, radiologists, pharmacists, and things that are needed. So, I think that one really cuts across industries in general. So, the obvious answer to that as well. What we need to do, since we don't appear to be able to solve with more people, we need to be able to make the people that are working and are here more efficient, and we need to increase their velocity. And I think you'll see, as you dive in industry by industry, I predict that that's a theme that you'll see, and you'll see solutions for those themes as we go forward.
Why do you think Oracle is uniquely positioned to help solve this? Yeah,
well, because we actually are providing the industry applications. So if you think about what our competitors do in the space, they'll provide either the compute and storage, the rented computers, so-called infrastructure, or they'll provide some horizontal applications.
But it's an or, not an and.
It's an or, and it's really up to the customer to still stitch those things together. So I'm going to jump ahead to maybe one of the solutions, which is generative AI, as an example. And if you think about in every industry, where does the generative AI feature set most resonate with end users? Where does it belong? It's in the industry application, right? I'll give you an example in healthcare. Where do we think generative AI can have a tremendous impact on our healthcare customers and specifically on their providers and the patients they care for? By automating routine tasks. Sometimes the paperwork, for example, to discharge a patient can take hours, and it's a huge tax and burden on the nursing staff. Now, by all indications, we may be short 1 million nurses in the United States by the year 2030, right? This is what some of industry analysts and pundits predict. These are numbers that are out there that you can see. We're not going to solve that gap, but if we can take a 2-hour discharge process and literally get that down to 2 minutes by using generative AI to automate that discharge process, I think these are the type of things that have tremendous utility. But you've got to be able to do that as a service. And if you're just getting infrastructure from a provider, or you're just getting a back office application, not that there aren't AI plays in those things, it's going to be up to the customer to figure out, how do I get that AI feature set, and how do I use the toolkit they're providing into the industry applications. What we're saying is we'll deliver it all as a feature set. No need for you to stitch it all together, and I think that's the big differentiator.